Legislatures in Lagos State, Nigeria's economic hub, have passed a bill banning smoking in public places, including restaurants and on public transport within the state. Scaling through the third reading, the bill prohibits residents from smoking in all public places such as libraries, museums, public toilets, schools, hospitals, daycare centers, public transportation and restaurants, amongst others. Penalties for violating the restriction range from 10,000 naira to 50,000 naira fines or imprisonment. On this episode of Public Announcement, we will share a brief history of tobacco, its effects to man, and also examine the reaction of Nigerians to the bill restricting tobacco smokers. Welcome to Public Announcement. Across the globe, the restriction of tobacco, its manufacturers and consumers didn't just begin today or in the past few months. The damaging health effects of tobacco were not initially known. In fact, most early European physicians subscribed to the Native American belief that tobacco can be an effective medicine. By the early 20th century, with the growth in cigarette smoking, articles addressing the health effects of smoking began to appear in scientific medical journals. In 1930, researchers in Cologne, Germany made a statistical correlation between cancer and smoking. 8 years later, Dr. Raymond Pearl of Johns Hopkins University reported that smokers do not live as long as non-smokers. By 1944, the American Cancer Society began to warn people about the possible ill effects of smoking, although it admitted that no definite evidence exists linking smoking and lung cancer. A statistical correlation between smoking and cancer had been demonstrated, but no causal relationship had been shown. More importantly, the general public knew little of the growing body of statistics. This public awareness changed in 1952 when Reader's Digest published Cancer by the Carton, an article specifying the dangers of smoking. The outcome of the article was colossal. Similar reports began appearing in other periodicals, and the smoking public began to take notice. The following year, cigarette sales declined for the first time in over 2 decades. Away from a global perspective and back to Lagos State House of Assembly, the anti-smoking bill consists of 16 sections which explain the regulations of smoking in public places. In Section 12, posting of signs with no smoking symbols depicts a pictorial representation of a burning cigarette enclosed in a circle with a bar across. It shall be prominently posted and properly maintained where smoking is regulated by the law, by the owner, occupier or person in charge of a no-smoking area. Section 4, Duty of Owner-Occupier, says that it shall be the duty of those who own or occupy public places to ensure that approved no smoking signs are displayed conspicuously at each entrance and in prominent locations throughout the premises. Penalties for smoking in a no-smoking area will be 10,000 naira fine or imprisonment for a term not less than 1 month and not exceeding 3 months or both. The bill, according to the statement made available, also highlighted that any persons who repeatedly violate the provision shall on conviction be liable to a fine 50,000 naira or 6-month imprisonment or both. The bill also stated that the penalty for non-compliance by owner or occupier of a no-smoking area will be 100,000 naira or 6 months imprisonment or other non-custodial punishment that the judge might deem fit. It shall be an offense to obstruct a duly authorized officer from carrying out his duties under the provisions of the law, the statement said. It added that the law further specified that any person who smoked in the presence of a child had committed an offense and will be liable on conviction to a fine of 50,000 naira or imprisonment for a month or both. In Nigeria, the anti-tobacco communities are at the forefront of ensuring a smoke-free public place. Over 40 civil society groups, legal practitioners and public health advocates stormed the Senate hearing room of the National Assembly Complex, Abuja on July 21st and 22nd to present their memorandum in support of the National Tobacco Control Bill NTCB 2009. The National Tobacco Control Bill 2009 established the following. It revoked the Tobacco Control Act, completely domesticated the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. It established the National Tobacco Control Committee. Every packet of tobacco for sale in Nigeria must carry the statement, "Sales allowed only in Nigeria." Every tobacco product manufactured in Nigeria for export must bear "Manufactured in Nigeria for export." Every packet of cigarette must bear the following: name and license number of the manufacturer, wholesaler, importer, exporter, serial number, date, location and country of manufacture, clearly visible tax stamp or marking. It prohibits the sale of cigarettes to persons under 18. It prohibits the sale of tobacco products through the vending machines. No mail delivery of cigarettes to consumers. Stipulates warning labels, health messages to cover at least 50% of the principal display areas. The health minister can adjust the format of the health warnings and messages to include pictograms. It prohibits all form of tobacco advertisement, sponsorship, promotion, endorsement or testimonial sales promotion. Prohibits smokers in public places including restaurants and bars, public transportations, schools, etc. Prohibition of the sale of tobacco products 1,000-meter radius places designated as non-smoking. Empowers government to use litigation to recoup liabilities related to tobacco consumption. HipTv went on the streets of Lagos to seek public opinions on this new bill and if at all its effects will be substantial and sustainable.
I don't see anything wrong in the new bill. I think going by what is happening these days, you know that the whole world has gone global. Children learn every day. And I think the fastest way of learning is see people doing it. So if they don't do it in public where children are, I think it will be difficult for the upcoming to take it as a way of life. After all, they've been advertising severally that it's dangerous to our health. So with that, I think it's good.
It's a fantastic bill and it's a welcome development. I cherish it a lot. Because like you and I know, when a smoker smokes, it doesn't just stop there. The person beside him is also affected. So I think it's a welcome development. Anything that has to do with our health, the governor is really striving well to see that the standard of health is met.
Don't you think it's affecting people's freedom or liberty?
It's not affecting people's freedom. Yeah, we're talking about health. We're not talking about maybe social or some other kind of freedom. You know, he's not saying you should stop public places. And you could go into club, you could do it in your private room and all that places. You could do it inside your car. And public places where you have 2, 3 other parties that will be affected of this same thing you're doing. That's what he's talking about.
Well, the bill I think is a good one. You understand? Smoking, we all know, is dangerous to health. And one thing is that, just like people will tell you, what I like is not what you like, what I want is not what you want. But I think smoking in public is not good. You want to smoke inside your house or smoke in a private place, so that we don't teach these young ones things that are not supposed to be taught to them. So to me, I think it's a good thing.
First of all, what we need to put into consideration is the fact that this is democracy. So every law should be based on the fact that public opinion has been taken into consideration. So you need to ask the public, you need to consider the majority vote of the public, if they support smoking in public or not. So if the ordinary Nigerians are kicking against it, then I think it could be put to law. But in a case whereby some people think it's right to smoke in public, while some see it as a wrongdoing, then I don't think the government has the right to pass that bill without a public opinion. So to me, if the public see it right, then they should pass the bill. But if the public consider it to be very, very wrong, so the public opinion should be put into consideration. That's my bone of contention.
Well, I think it's a welcome development. Like according to the past few years now, Lagos State government has been working towards achieving the mega city goal and all. So, in order for you to attain that certain goal, you need to like pass some bills, some laws that can be at times some people won't benefit from that. You understand? But in order to achieve that goal, you need to just pass some laws.
You support the law?
Yeah, I think I do. But on the other hand, like if you look at Lagos as a whole, Lagos is very populated and all. But you need to like, it has to do with the commercial areas where you can find restaurants and all.
To me, I would say it's not a bad thing. It's not really bad, at least it's gonna be like, if you want to smoke, that it has to be like it has to be in the moderate thing. If you want to smoke, you smoke in your house. You don't go when you smoke like in an open place in public. It doesn't tell good of you. It tells bad. It gives you a bad omen. So if you want to smoke, it's not something you have to come outside and smoke. But I think the bill is okay.
Some people will tell you that smoking is good for their old age. For my old age, it's not good. I don't think that I can do such thing. So that is what, if government insists that if there is a will, because if you want to buy a packet of cigarette, they will write that a smoker is liable to die young. But most people, they will take the other side of it, say that's just like, I always believe on that word. But my dad smoke, but I don't smoke. That is my own opinion. I just do it just to prevent my old age. I have my own reason for doing that.
For me, I support it. Anyone that we see done that kind of thing, we have to fine him and pay the fine.
Not good to smoke publicly. I think it's good. It's a good thing.
So you support the recent bill passed?
Too well. Support it.
The public smoking is good for the government to ban it because it corrupts the young ones. Even in the hidden place, it's not good for someone to to smoke. So smoking in the public, I believe is wrong because at the same time it pollutes the air. So it's good for the government to ban it.
It's true, you don't have to smoke it in the children's face. And some kind of smoke that, but we have different kind of smokes. When we talk about smokes, is it about cigarette or by weed? You can't smoke weed in public, but you can smoke cigarette in public. And one thing, just don't matter, some kind of children, when they see you smoking, they'll be looking at it, and end of the day, they'll learn how to smoke. But the government is right, and at the same time, we have to do something about it.
Yeah, actually, it's not that bad because to smoke in the public is not. I don't think it's okay. Smoking in the public. Well, looking at what is really happening, I guess if anyone wants to do such, it should be at least it should even go home and do such rather than smoking in the public. What are they portraying? Are they portraying something good? I mean, it's not even nice seeing smoking anyhow in the public. I think it's okay. It's okay by me.
Well, to me, it's a good idea because most junior kids see people smoking. They use paper to wrap something like look at cigarette. They'll be mimicking them. So to me, it's a good opinion. You want to smoke in your house, or look for a bar and smoke. a lot of people inhale cigarette flames, I mean the smoke, and it affects you more than the smoker himself. So I think it's a good idea.
For me, the smoking is not good for the health, and people might be smoking the Indian hemp or maybe the cigarettes. It will be affect their kidney from the health. But when the government can find a solution for it, maybe to stop it or whatever, so that kind of idea, it should be okay. Or I would like to buy the idea. It's okay for them. That's it.
Smoking in public, I think it's not advisable, because the smoking that is coming out from the cigarette has adverse effect on human health. But I think what Lagos State should have done is they should have been a substitute. Now, what do you understand about? Because when you look at this law now, when you look at where they do this most, is all these big hotels. Even themselves, where they are, they smoke there. All these big hotels that is open to everybody now. So if they want to ban that, at least maybe they kind of make a small structure that if you want to smoke, you just go in there, you smoke and you get out. That's why it's obtainable everywhere. Abroad there, they have a small space, maybe made up of all this wedding or something like that. Just go in there, it has AC, smoke, and you get out. That's all. So it don't affect anybody. So there should have be all these substitutes. Okay, if you can't smoke in public, okay, we are not saying we want to ban, but you don't smoke in public, whereas you can smoke elsewhere. And if it has to stop, let it stop from the top now. At least federal government is encouraging it. So if you want to stop it, we can stop it within a day. So it's because we are encouraging it. It's like even all these things, we've never sat down to think of it. Okay, is this thing going to work or not? We just come out and just issue law and without following it up. It's not about issue law. It's not about taking strictly that no, this law is being adhered to. That's what makes a law. So that we just talking and making all this stuff.
Tobacco is a global epidemic, and the problem is getting worse rapidly as the tobacco industry penetrates the developing world. Here are a few sobering facts. In the 20th century, tobacco-related deaths were at 100 million and increased to 1 billion by the 21st century. One person dies every 6 seconds from a tobacco-related disease, while 10 people die per minute. Over 25% of all deaths in the United States are tobacco-related. Tobacco smoke contains over 4,000 chemicals, including 250 known to harm humans. More than 600,000 non-smokers die each year from secondhand smoke worldwide, 1/3 of which are children. There are 1.1 billion tobacco users in the world. The numbers are expected to increase to 1.6 billion over the next 2 decades. Most importantly is the fact that tobacco is the leading risk factor for non-communicable diseases. Tobacco taxation has been widely recognized as an incredible cost-effective solution that encourages smokers to quit and prevents youths from starting to smoke. In addition, increasing tobacco taxes can directly benefit governments by increasing revenues. There are various other tobacco control measures that can curb NCDs and the tobacco epidemic, including enforcing smoke-free policies, graphic warnings, and bans on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship.